It's always nice starting up a vlog with a cold start. Try to get him pulling away here. But that truck's surprisingly, this truck did most of the smoking. That truck surprisingly runs pretty doggone clean for 120 horse injectors in there. And the way it's set up right now with the stuff DEP hooked us up with, it runs pretty clean. Like it has a little, it has a little puff of smoke, of course. It's, increased horsepower, but like you're just a little dust of smoke again. But it doesn't roll cold like this truck, that's for sure. This truck's gonna get some tuning work done yet and some other things worked out of it, so it's not rolling cold the way I have it set up now. But currently my truck just smokes like a dog. See, my truck rolls so much cold. It's a little bit overboard. He wants to see if I want to drive it the rest of the way. Sure, I'll swap. Getting the old nasty red parked away here because tomorrow we're going to be saying goodbye here. What do you think about it running?
I thought you were going to get a smokestack.
Smokestack?
Yeah, that's kind of gay.
Not on the nasty red. I was thinking of getting a smokestack for my truck.
Well, that's dumb.
It's got an injector leak, so we got to fix that yet too. Isn't that pretty?
Yeah, I think that light bar might have to come off though. Thing's annoying as all crap.
Yeah, it'll probably come off.
You go over like 5 miles an hour and it's like whistling. This is a better way to mount it up back and further. What do you think of this thing, Thias?
Does the hood even shut?
Yes. It's not that small. See that little spot right there? There's one injector that around it, the O-ring is not sealing off right or something, and it's leaking. Now keep in mind, it's running a lot more fuel without a lot more airflow yet. So when we get the compounds on there and the cold air intake on the front of those, it's gonna kill out a lot of that smoke. But right now we're just running a ton of fuel without a ton of air. Smoke's gonna be a little bit more prone to happen. Of course, we got mud all over this frame we had clean. This long, muddy driveway. What do you think of it, Evangeline?
I don't care.
She does not care. Bro, you straight up missed that.
Shut up, you can't even make that.
I remember posting a Snapchat of one of the trucks right here from up top, and people were so confused. They thought it was like a toy replica of the truck. Take another shot, Thias. It looks really good from up here. You're gonna miss. Everybody always asks about the barn project.
Yeah, it's coming along. It's taking some time, but sturdy.
Yeah. This will actually probably just help these trusses on this side too. Just all these extra supports. You built a lot of things, haven't you? You built a lot of things over the years.
A lot of things.
A lot of things.
Hopefully I'll have this finished framed here shortly. Frame these going straight up, but then have a loft as a level. And
That's
levels,
a level.
if they don't work, they don't work. Then that way I can have a loft up into that area, which would be nice.
Yeah, so the whole goal is, if we're going to put a loft up here, to have all the supporting, obviously factors when it comes to framing and supports and stuff like that. So you're basically taking away all the stress factors of even putting a loft up there in terms of stress on the,
And then what I'm going to do is, I have, some of this is all timbers, like old timbers that are actually the supports. Some of it's just more cosmetic, like I have that beam there. But it's going to serve as two purposes. But then what I'll do is once I get it all tied together, then I'm gonna I got a bunch of barn beams I had sawed in half that'll be somewhat structural and somewhat decorative. But what they'll do is I'll have one that I notch out, and then they just slip right over top of the beams like this. And then that way the floor, you know, when you put the ceiling on, it'll all tie together. And then I'll have another one that's not notched out that'll go right like this, and I'll just put it up against it. And then what I'll do is I'll have knee bracing in here, so that way it'll just kind of not only look good, but strengthen everything too. So I'll make it nice and tight.
There's a lot of guys that watch that they're into farming, so they're tractor fans. So
Love that.
somebody asked, does the 4320 run?
Oh, it runs. When I got it, it didn't run that well.
No, it didn't run. But then neighbor Randy,
Randy,
we refer to neighbor Randy.
yeah, you know, I bought this tractor off my brother-in-law, and it's a great tractor, but I had paid somebody to do a whole overhaul on the thing because it was never starting right. You know, you'd have to park on a hill to jump start, and it just needed a whole overhaul. So they did that, paid a lot of money to have it done, and then the first time I go to use it, the thing just petered out and didn't do anything worth anything. So I had Randy then come over, get it started. He took it over to his barn, and when I got it back, it runs. Yeah. So he just basically did a lot of fuel line system, fixed a few things, and so for what you got there, it's a good John Deere.
First gen parked over here. You know, I was telling my dad, I'm like,
not the first gen.
Sorry, not first gen. I wish we had another first gen right now, but no, it just parked the second gen over here.
It's like what I said, the white gen the other day.
The white gen. Yeah, we got the white gen here. Somebody just asked me on Snapchat, are these engines slanted sitting in the engine compartment? I don't know. The first gens looks like that. Like when you look at it, it looks like it tilts back a little bit. I'm not entirely sure to answer your question, but if you look at it right here, you can see this valve cover, and then, for example, the top of that one, it does kind of sit angled back a little bit. Anyways, I was telling my dad, I'm like, I hadn't thought about trying to post 2 vlogs in one day, but I'm thinking about it. Thinking about just posting this one today because I actually had an opportunity to already film one, and then just had an opportunity to grab the camera and continue filming for another one, for the next one.
Now, this doesn't mean the engine's slanted, but
Yeah, it's slanted.
I say it's slanted. I'm just saying,
The
like,
first gen sitting in our barn, which is pretty level, the engine
this is
clearly
in the barn too. I just don't know suspension-wise if it's engine or suspension, but you can see like yeah, it's definitely higher in the front, clearly, you know, and then
I mean, the first gen's clearly slanted.
yeah.
I mean, you can see it clear as day because there's no covering up here, so you can see it angling back all the way. Yeah, just a little fun fact. It runs really good. I didn't ask you that since you ran it.
No, you could definitely tell a huge difference. One leaky injector here. This cylinder 2. She's a dripping a bit, but what I'll probably end up doing is truth be told, okay, here's the deal. I put the injectors in, and then I forgot to put the anti-seize. And so I pulled all the injectors back out, put the anti-seize, put them back in. But rookie mistake, what I didn't pay attention to was I pulled the injectors out, and then I don't know when I put them back in if the copper seal, you know, if they all came out or if they stayed on the injector. And so I can't remember, because one of these could have 2 of those coppers and one of them may have none. And so, you know what I'm saying by that?
Yeah, for example, like that one could have 2, or that one might not.
This one might not have anything, which would make sense as to why it's seated
There's a
up.
little bit of that gap, yeah.
So it's just one of those things to where, you know, stupid mistake, wasn't thinking about that. I was just kind of trying to make sure everything else is perfect. And
Yeah. Live and learn, you know what I mean? Like 12 valves, we've owned them now for 8 months, 9 months, but we're just still learning. I mean, it's just one of those deals.
You know, it's one of those things to where it's like when I pull the old ones out, they've been seated in there for a while, so that copper piece, a lot of times you have to, almost if you want to get it loose, you have to pick it loose.
Yeah.
So I just wasn't thinking, because I'm used to pulling them out. You know, I'm not with brand new ones though. You know, it's just, they're loose, you know what I mean? So who knows? But, so not a big deal. It's just a matter of just loosening this stuff up, take them out, crack them, pull them. Especially I'll pull this one, just see what's down there and kind of go from there. So. But overall, to answer your question, yeah, I mean, you could definitely tell a big difference. We didn't jump on it. We didn't go crazy just because we got all the fuel modifications done, but we did not do anything with the governor springs. That's all changed too, but I didn't want to, because we didn't change the valve springs, I didn't want to jump on it and risk, you know, busting any of that stuff. But you could definitely tell just with what we did, it rides nice.
Yeah, and I was telling them, Dad, I'm like, and also, like, because when you started up and you revved it, it smoked quite a bit.
Yeah.
And Jake was saying, you know, with Jake with Pusher, and also Jake with DAP, they were saying, like, well, obviously, when you're adding a ton of fuel and all this stuff, you've got to have the proper proportionate amount of airflow as well, or it's just going to smoke like crazy. So compound system in the big cold air intake and stuff, that stuff's obviously not on yet. So once that stuff's all in, they're supposed to complement the other ones. They're all going to run together, run better, run more smooth, and more efficient, clean out the tailpipe as well, you know? So you're not just dumping fuel.
It was pretty easy. I mean, there was just one tricky couple bolts back here because things were tight when we added this stuff. But this is just real simple. I mean, it's just a matter of bolts, you know, putting it together. But I mean, it's nice, and I don't know why. I love this stuff. Like, I love having the option to not just have performance but looks.
And the nice thing is with all this stuff, guys, pretty much if you have a good socket set and a set of wrenches, you can do most of this stuff. It's like, you're pretty much good to go. Probably going to post both of these videos in the same day, so you probably watched another one right before this one. If you did, sweet. Let me know if you guys like the 2 vlogs in 1 day thing. I'm not going to be able to do it a lot, but maybe sometimes. You know, if I have the opportunity, I can try to make it happen. Just means double the hours put in for editing, but you know, if you guys enjoy that enough, maybe I'll start doing it here and there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Share this video with a friend if you enjoyed it. Leave a like down below, comment, subscribe if you're new, join the team, join the family, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
I've been doing things that they told me I could never do now. Never do, I could never do. I've been looking back and I'm the only one who ever knew. My dreams began to turn out. I told them it's my turnout. They in the club and I'm in the studio. Guess they gonna learn now. Told myself I want it all, gotta get it all, never gonna burn.